Corner faster, training the brain. This video is called Corner Faster, Training the Brain. You may know by now, I'm not a professional racer, so I cannot baffle you with science or unrealistic objectives, but I can hopefully plant some new ideas that you can implement easily and can yield immediate results for you. In this video, I'm suggesting you make use of what I know is already in your brain, but you ignore it because you are too busy worrying about crashing in the corners. I have a strategy in this video that I think could help you, whatever your level, and enable you to quickly develop your corner speed without taking excessive risk, but maintaining good stability and, most importantly, remaining very calm. This is about using those 7 20-minute track sessions really productively, training your brain to make you go faster. No one does this except for fast riders, and I think you can be one of those. To make it easy to learn, you don't have to do anything specific like pick a point or look out for a feature. You just go in, make your brain do the work, get your eyes up the track, and let brain and eyes work together. No effort, no big energy, no big stress, no fear, and no expectation. Just enjoyment and better lap times. Do it as much or as little as you like. The results will be immediate. This method is fast-tracking you to be more like a racer, using your instinct and your talent to close that gap that they have got on you, because they have done thousands of laps and you've only just started. If you have got into a corner and thought, oh no, I'm going to bin it, this is the way to deal with that, so the outcome is way better. You can try my brain train strategy on one corner, all corners, or just the ones where you feel comfortable. It doesn't matter. Once you've trained your brain for one corner, you've completed the task for any corner. It's your choice if you do more corners, but as each corner will lower your lap time, there's clearly an incentive to maximize the numbers of corners. This fits with my overriding concept, is anyone can go fast down the straights. It's the 10 or more corners that make a good lap time. So what we're going to do here is train your brain to do the cornering and your eyes to look further up the track and set the corner speed. The main difference between you and a racer is they have thousands of laps experience and therefore are totally at home in the track environment. You, on the other hand, are an infrequent track visitor, and nowhere else do you ride so fast at the same time as so many other people. So my proposition in this video is to use what is already in your brain for track riding so you can catch up those racers, or at least close the gap on them with as little risk as possible. It's up to you where and how often you do it, but my intention is, when I do it, is to slowly build up to all corners. So, what am I talking about? What is brain training? I know it is possible to train your brain to perform tasks so in future they happen instinctively and automatically. None of us can remember learning how to walk, but now we do walking and many other activities without a thought. We trained our brains from a very early age and enjoy the benefits every day of the week. My strategy here is the track riding version of that same brain training. To explain a little more, some of these existing brain-trained activities are high energy, very precise, very gentle, very strong, and all sorts of other features. These activities make full use of our senses like vision, hearing, and touch. To me, this means our brains have an unlimited capacity to learn and to perform. It is a feature we completely ignore most of the time. In this video, we're going to train your brain for track riding. For walking, we trained our brains to learn balance, gravity, lean, start, stop and turn. Those attributes are remarkably similar to what we need for track riding. Okay, you're not going to be like a toddler, wobbling around and crashing into the furniture, I hope. But don't worry, this learning process has a big first step, followed by infinite smaller ones. It becomes what you take to any track, and it can work anywhere. It is what I do to learn new tracks, and what I do to constantly improve my performance at existing tracks. To improve my brain training, I even practice this method on the roads, on my bike, and sometimes in the car. I do this to increase the muscle memory of the task, as like you, I have limited track time. So let's focus on you and think through what happens when you are in a corner at a track. Only you know this information, but I'm assuming it includes some fear, some stress, some worry, some body tension, some frustration, and some regret you aren't going any better. None of these are positive. They do use a lot of energy. They're quite risky. They don't shout fun, and there doesn't seem to be an obvious way of improving. Okay, we can change all of that. Now, you just need to grow the range of acceleration, speed, stopping, and turning, and finesse the transitions to make them smooth, stable, and low energy. The equivalent of sprinting, but implanted in your brain. So to engage the part of the brain that already knows how to brake, turn, lean, apex, stand it up, and gas out, you need to split your focus into cognitive effort, or the view via your eyes, and what your brain knows already. I want your eyes to feed the brain a vision that is ahead of your track location, whilst your brain takes care of where you actually are. What you're doing here is focusing your eyes on what is further up the track, forcing your brain to take care of the location you are presently in. In practice, that means come down the straight, spot your braking point with your eyes before you get there. Then move focus to your turn-in point as your brain takes care of the braking. Whilst your brain is doing the braking, your eyes focus moves to the turn-in point. As your brain turns in, your eyes move on to the apex, and so on. Eyes always one step ahead of your brain. What is happening here is your eye focus is always ahead of your location, and your brain is taking care of all the braking, turning, apexing, and gassing without your direct input. It is okay to think this is impossible. It is, until you try it, and then you can't understand what just happened. What just happened is you unlocked what your brain has always been able to do and let it get on with it without your vision-based inputs. The reason your brain version is better is because its bandwidth is not occupied by your fear, stress, and lack of confidence that comes from what your eyes look at. This method avoids the target fixation and tendency to look at very fast-moving tarmac directly in front of you. Because your eyes are now moving like a searchlight, and what is in your field of vision is not fast-moving, scary tarmac, but where you want to be, further up the track, as soon as possible. Remember, visual processing takes up to 50% of your cognitive resources. Why bother using your eyes to process your immediate situation when your brain has all the data it needs already? Use the visual processing energy to motivate you to be further up the track quicker. Less energy, more calm, better decisions. Because you've allowed your brain to perform the corner tasks, you will brake later, brake less, lean more, and get on the gas sooner and harder. You will lose far less energy and actually want to go faster. Imagine riding a roller coaster 10 times. The first time you are stressed and exhausted. Every time after that, you anticipate the turns and the corners, lean in and scream faster. Now you have unlocked the best part of your brain and filled the voids with confidence, stability, and speed. You now have both your brain and your cognitive resources working in tandem, just like a true racer. Just start with one corner, build your confidence, prove to yourself it actually works. Then try another corner and understand the benefits of stability, calm, speed, and good energy. Once you have completed 3 or 4 corners, your lap time is already falling. Good luck with this. It does work. Just try it one corner first and prove it to yourself. As ever, please let me know how you get on and ask me anything that concerns you. See you in the next one.